Hello everybody, this is ZigZagZog coming to you from somewhere in this world, and we are back to continue our playthrough of Empire Total War featuring Darthmod in the 40 unit saves version. As promised last time, we have the battle for Montreal ahead of us. It's fairly even odds. It really just depends on how damaged they are from their own battle. It could be very minor weaknesses in taking over Montreal, or it could be something different. We'll find out. But as far as their army, they have what it looks like around 17 units. They do have a couple native units, a mounted unit, and a warrior. So we're going to have to be ready for some melee when we find them. They also have something that we do not have, and that is irregulars in their force. And those are some units that can shoot a little farther than everybody else and have a little more accuracy than everybody else. So they're going to be something we need to keep our eye on also. And if we have the ability to run them down with our own cavalry to keep them from picking us off at a distance, we'll have to be aware that they could be doing that with us too. The big thing, though, is being outnumbered in artillery pieces. That'll be our big challenge coming up in here. We do outnumber them overall. That's the good thing. But we only have 2 of the artillery pieces. And the other unknown is, in those 1 or 2 units of garrison, is one of those a mortar. So let's just get in there and get this thing a-going. And we are going to demand surrender as we always do. And it does show we have the edge, so that's good news. And let's take a look really quick at how depleted they are or aren't. See, there's malicious. They aren't all line units, and no extra surprise mortars. So that's also good news. 259, 257. I think their regular number for the line infantry is the 300, so they aren't super depleted. But hey, we'll take whatever we can get. They're a little depleted. All right, let's get in there. We'll see you on the battlefield. Okay, here we are in the battlefield. We got the town right in the center on a slight rise here. I think we're going to do some adjustments. I'm more than likely going to rearrange here a little bit, so I'll come back and do the rearranging, let you know how I decide to set it up. Why, whether I'm right or not, we'll find out. So I'll be right back as I relocate and readjust my layout. All right, we are set up now. What I've done, just to give us at least our artillery better or maximum, I hope, field of fire. We got them on the wings. I got 1 unit on this side on the wings, the other unit down over here on the wings, so we can not be blocked by the buildings in the center and have the best field of fire, especially on their starting zone. So that's kind of how we've set them out. I got a cavalry unit over on this side, or 2 of the native cavalry units set up for melee only to go if we see quick early opportunities to charge in on their artillery and pick some off without too much trouble. We're going to do that. And I also have another cavalry unit on the wings to be able to do something on this side if that's where they end up being set up. If they're set up in the center, well, guess what? It'll have to be done by land units, or if it's really tempting, maybe even send the general in through the town to pick it off. But I'm fine using the slower infantry if they end up being set up right in the center to work their way through the buildings, because they'll be more protected to do that. We have a few units in reserve on our lines. I kept the pikemen over on this side for protection. On the other side, I have 2 line regiments to help protect the artillery over there. Otherwise, we pretty much do have a line, kind of not a solid straight line, but we have a line, and we have some reserve units here, reserve units in the center, and reserve units over here more on the left flank. So that's the plan. That's hopefully what's going to work for us. Now it's now it's time to find out if the plan will work and how much adjusting we'll have to do. Let's go see where their artillery is going to start out. And it looks like they have it smack dab in the center, and they don't have a lot protecting it. So I think what it means is right off the bat we're going to charge with cavalry towards the center. They made the mistake of leaving it somewhat unprotected. Now there may be native units hidden over here. I think what I'll do is readjust my own artillery to work on, well, they have a regiment of foot here that we will focus on. They're dug in behind a wall. And over here we have a little more of an open field battle. Ooh, they have another demi-cannon unit out here that's moving, so let's try to pick it off as it's moving. And the other three are stationary in the center, not doing, apparently, a lot of firing. Cavalry's already here. Let's charge on in. We're going to take some shots probably from this dug-in regiment over here. And fortunately, we are going to be able to dig them out. Oh, hopefully, we aren't going to take too many kills running through town this close. But this definitely swings the battle in our favor by them setting up in such a fashion. We gotta keep our cavalry moving. Uh-oh, they're hung up, pathing through town, so that's not good. We're gonna take extra casualties there. So as soon as we can, which is right about now, we're going to get them out of here. And hopefully the pathing won't hang them up trying to get out of town either. We're already wavering because of the damage we're taking. But the main artillery pieces are gone. It looks like we've taken out this one, and it's time to withdraw our cavalry till we use them in a more traditional fashion. We are doing some damage over here, but now at least they are not shooting at us anymore. Okay, now it's going to be time for us to take the offensive. I think we're going to have some fun moving forward on this map to try and meet them in the distance. Let's get a sense of who's what, where, how. Yeah, they're kind of waiting for us to do the advancing because we are the attacker. So let's oblige. Since I don't have to worry about the cannon either, I can probably afford to not have to go through town as much. And we will bring our lines up right here for starters. We can retarget over here now that we've chased them off. Bring up our 2 reserve units also on this side, placing them in the rear depending on how the terrain allows us. There we go. And the 2 in reserve we are not going to put on. Oh, actually I stopped them from walking out. We are not going to have them firing into our backs, so we'll take the fire at will off. And then we have the entrenched positions over here. So we will move this wing on the other side of town. To work against those units. And we will have some reserve units that we can use, or at least a reserve unit remaining to help out our line on this side. Once again, we'll toggle off fire at will. And in this particular instance, we will advance the general up the middle and see where we're going to end up needing him. And we will bring the cavalry advancing a little bit to help us out as necessary for any flanking actions we might have. And we'll do the same on this side. Mounted Tribal Auxiliary. I think what we'll do is see if we can't, direct some fire over at them so we can try and keep our cavalry superiority. And they are advancing on us. Looks like we will be set up in time though. We can speed you up a little bit. So the early action's happening here on the right. And the cavalry staying stationary is making a nice target for the artillery. And for our line, now that we are all set. If this regiment would hurry up and get set. But the cavalry's going away. We have caused the first retreat. That was militia units. One of their lines of foot. And we have 2 lines of foot marching forward on this side. We'll keep the cavalry going against the tribal auxiliary, although they are shattered now, so let's retarget. Back on the regiment of horse in the rear. It looks like our line will be able to handle any assault they put forward on this side. And sure, taking out and being able to take out their artillery early can make all the difference. The irregulars are in the back here. We may have to send a unit around soon to work on them. They're taking pot shots at a distance, which will not immediately going to waver us, but it will in the long term have an effect. What have we got in the distance here? Another line of regiment of foot and more irregular guerrillas. Now there's almost a path opening up in between. Where is my cavalry? I think oops. And that path is quickly closing all of a sudden. Because he just repositioned. I'm gonna have to run through fire if I go that way. So let's and we got another line of they're recovering. They've rallied the troops. I think on this side we may need to bring some up since he's spreading our line a little bit. So we'll come in at an angle and allow them fire at will. Once they get up there, we're going to run them up. We're wavering on this side due to the volume of fire going against us. And they're coming in very close. We have our native warriors in the center, so we're going to bring our support up where they are for melee support should they charge in. Yeah, there they are, right in the center. Run up, guys. We need help repulsing. And they just broke, so we'll hang on to ourselves in the back for any other charges that may take place. Now we're going to bring out some cavalry to start weakening their line. So the center charge that they masked is repulsed. In fact, we can bring cavalry right on through them. Of course, that'll slow up our attack, but it'll disrupt them some more, won't it? Let's halt our firing at the moment so we don't shoot our own cavalry. Yeah, we're bypassing them anyway. We're going to head to the irregulars, and now we can bring fire back. Now that we've cleared the zone. Do we have any other irregulars out here? Yes. Let's continue the charge through the center. Oh, but we have a regiment of horse that is under cannon fire, or could be. We're going to bring the cavalry back out of here so we don't get artillery fire now that they've moved closer as a target. We don't want stray cannonballs hitting us. And it looks like this side is now under control to where we can spend a little more time uprooting the entrenched units on this side. We want to target the most with our artillery on this side. We've done a pretty good number over here. Let's go a little farther in the distance as we now start our advance. And it's kind of cool the way they have it layered. I can't automatically bring my cavalry down this way, but we will try advancing this way at an angle. Will and I'll also try that same tactic here, and this layer is a little more distant, so maybe what we can do is reorient our cannons to the rear, and as the cavalry gets closer, charge these guys from the rear. Let's run the rest of the way. Yeah, we still are not having major threats on this side, other than the native warriors have returned. So just so they do not decimate us here, let's close in for a charge. Kind of a long run, but we need some support. Oh, they're wavering now. Enemy general has fallen. They get off the first shot on repositioning here. They also have their regiment of horse over on this side to counter us, but the cannon fire has finally had an impact. We're going to change our cannon fire to these units in the back, and they just retreated. Just an all-out retreat. Oh, no wonder, because it's militia. So what we will do against their line here, we will charge on in to break their entrenched position. They already broke the entrenched position for us. And I have some reserves which we're going to bring up. Since they are no longer entrenched, we're going to run them up to bring additional fire on this unit. And that ought to root them. Oh, they already came out, but we'll continue the charge. Hold fire briefly. And extend our line down here as we then start moving forward on this side. The cavalry has done its job on the entrenched line infantry over here. And because of that, they're starting to waver and feel threatened maybe. We've got some more guerrillas to run down, so we're going to do that and continue on through over here. They're going to get a few pot shots at us. The only thing about, the nice thing about the irregulars is the unit sizes aren't quite as large. I'm not too worried about the militia taking pot shots at us. Much more worried about the regular infantry in the back. We've disrupted the irregulars, so let's see if we can disrupt some militia. At some point we're going to be too weak of a force because we have taken casualties. We're going to have to stop all this running around. Artillery piece is kind of quiet. We might as well bring them to bear over here. And the garrison militia is now wavering. Okay, let's retreat. At the moment with the cavalry, they're a little bit wasted, I'm assuming. And let's start bringing our line forward in case we're going to need them over on this side around town. This unit is under cannon fire. We're going to move our line on this side forward. And see about finishing them off. Let's bring this cavalry back over here for support in case we need a rear charge on their final remaining unit. He's kind of moving our way to kind of pick on my cavalry a little. But no, we're moving forward. In fact, we're going to probably have to stop and halt our advance because we're going to over-advance if we don't give some new orders. Yep, halt. Let's position you here. Running. Let's halt you and start firing there. Run you up to position and continue to move. We've got a rallied line infantry here. Should we run the ones in the center that are going to meet him first? This is line infantry out here. This is not. This is my melee line infantry is what it is. I was thinking it was my cavalry out there. I'm given the wrong. All of a sudden I saw my cavalry back here and I go, wait a minute. So we'll bring the cavalry back over this direction. We're going to silence at this point the cannon fire because there's not that many of their units left. They're going to be more likely to do damage to us. Okay, we did break them on this side. Let's go chase them down as we get the last unit remaining right here under fire. Oh, we're gonna charge. I didn't keep track of how close they were. We will now charge and finish the job this way. And this should be the end. And this battle will signal the end of the occupation of Portugal on the Americas. There we go. Let's end the battle now. We've taken over Montreal. Heroic victory. Awesome, guys. All right, we had wonderful losses. Only 532 lost out of all that. Really, the big difference was them setting up their artillery out of position, making it somewhat easy for us. So Portugal is no more in the Americas, unless they just have some random landed force walking around somewhere. Region captured. Let's do the fixing up, the healing up. $1,800 to heal up. We will do that. Is there any other buildings needing repair down in this area? It doesn't look like it at the moment. So there we go. Take that, Portugal. And we also have working on your front door over in Spain. If we can knock Spain out, you're lined right up to get your home territory taken over. So there we go. All right, I popped over here just to refresh my memory. We are already moved to the border. That was done at the tail end of last episode, so I don't get to move them yet. I think we're probably getting near turn end, if memory serves me, therefore. So what we'll probably do is I'm going to take a look around, see how we can best spend our funds. And then I'm also tempted to here I end up doing all this stuff on the continent, but I'm also tempted to take over Denmark, because they are not having a garrison by much. It would mean vacating the capital to do it. So that's in the back of my mind. Is that something you think we should do? Is that something you want to see done, to give a little payback to Sweden? That's also something that's been formulating in the back of my mind. I think something else we'll do is we'll take a peek over here in on the continent of India. We got our little brig full of, that's got to be one overflowing brig, does it not? Let's go take a look up here to Orissa and, oh, I don't know how to pronounce some of these. We're going to go up to Kutak and see if they still have this town and territory garrison. Let's go take a peek. And they do not. So we're going to try a little raiding mobile force up here to keep the pressure on the Mughals, keep them guessing where we're going to show up next. And offload. Of course, just in case they're just out of sight nearby, we're going to keep our fleet or our one ship very nearby. All right, so let me go peek around, like I said before, on how we can best spend our funds. And one thing I noticed or realized, they do have the repaired port down here. As I was looking around, it does seem to be repaired, so we need to blockade their trade. And the fleet is right here that they have. No, it's not. This is the fleet right here. Okay. Where they have a navy, the Zebek, and a brig. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a chance just temporarily. We're going to keep the 6th right there. Oh, they might be able to fight their way out. So we could be setting ourselves up for some issues, but I got a blockade here to keep my pressure on. So this extra brig is coming down here. And maybe in the meantime, part of the funds we spend just to give me a little extra blockading powers. We're going to recruit another 5th rate down here. The only thing that could be working in my advantage is I could be within reinforcement range here, but I don't want to take that chance if they try fighting their way out of this port. Okay, down here on the island of Cuba, tobacco is a nice middle-of-the-road product. It's not up there with ivory or any of the others top tiers, but it's not one of the worst either. So we're going to spend a little funds to upgrade here to a large tobacco plantation. We're also going to take a moment to improve the infrastructure here to get those goods to the port. And finally, we're going to upgrade this little old port. Take advantage of all the other prior upgrades that we're doing. And one more thing. Did I do I did the infrastructure already. So we're going to do one more improvement here. We're just spending a little money in Cuba right now to upgrade the facilities to improve its economic output. And we do have our kind of mobile force roaming around over here. I think what we're going to end up having to do is come back and pick up the rest of the force that's sitting right over here with its job done. Yeah, so they can't move yet, but we can move our Navy back over here, getting ready to pick them up. And then get ourselves stationed centrally as our rapid defense force. At least as rapid as you can get in the 1700s. Okay, we'll just park it right there, waiting to pick up our troops. We got a little bit more to spend, 4,300, so hang on, I'm going to go spend the rest. Okay, and I really haven't found any more cotton. That's kind of what I was doing my initial search for. We don't have access to so much of that. But tobacco is better than the sugar, so we're going to focus on the tobacco right now as far as upgrading, so we're going to spend a little bit more there. We'll do the same thing. We don't have the funds. Yeah, we don't have any more funds now. Let's see if the roads are upgradable over here. Yes, they are. And we are done with the upgrades. What we'll do is come back here. We'll take a quick look at the cabinet. Okay, this is the one that got reelected. Okay, that refreshes my memory too. Hopefully yours as much as mine. And we are ready for the next turn to see what the future brings. So we'll see you on the other side. Okay, we have some diplomacy opportunities, and one is a straight up peace treaty with the Barbary states, and a straight up peace treaty. They're also protectorates of the Ottomans, who we are trading with, and I'm happy. Other games I play, they demand some high astronomical amounts to make peace, but I think some of their territories have been eaten away by other countries on the northern part of Africa, so they're just looking for peace to survive at this point, and we're just gonna oblige. That's one less enemy state to be raiding our trade income. And at the end of that spot, if I didn't cut it out, there is one. Did you see the Portuguese Navy that floated into town? They're going to be within range of Montreal very quickly, and that force looked significantly stronger than the one we just defeated. So we're going to have our hands full. It looks all of a sudden down in the Americas, or over, because that's not down in the southern part of the Americas, over in the Americas very soon. And what we may have to do is send that mobile force of ours over to New Orleans and start hiking up to the north to try and take on this force, because that was getting pretty close to the full 40 unit stack that we may have to be facing soon. So we'll take a closer look at that in a moment. That's the one that woke me up. That's the one that gave a jolt to the to the old heart and the blood pressure as we saw that rolling into town. It was like, oh boy. Okay, what have we just? Oh, we can now start upgrading our roads. So let's take a. We'll just advance from that. A peace treaty has been signed between us and the Barbary states. Yes, we know that. One thing I want to take a look at is technology, and where do we want to best spend our resources and time over here for Bordeaux. They are the ones that finished the roads. Right now it has us researching over here basic steam pump. Oh, that'll improve our mine. So yeah, I agree. I would like to improve some mine income so that we'll keep the next research right on target, right there. Recruitment report. We've built. Let's start taking control of the seas. We've built our first 2 fourth-rate ships of the line. I cannot wait to put them to use. Maybe what we got to do is sail out and see if we can't hunt down the Portuguese Navy over in the Americas. How hard or how likely will that be? They're probably next turn going to drop off that force. Let's see if we can pick off their Navy, you think? Or do we just go down to the coast of Portugal and cut off all their income with this massive Navy? That may be better, and it'll force a response by them to maybe bring that fleet back and move against us. In the meantime, we can build some more fourth rates. So there you go. There's the plan. They only have the single port, which should be easy to blockade and stifle them economically. That's just what we're going to do. We're going to now take this fleet of fifth rates, pick up the fourth rates on the way. And while we're here, let's not forget to recruit a couple more. Let's see if we can make it down to the port. There we are. The blockade has begun. Let's see if we can make them feel the pain. After that turn, we also now get to move our army into Spain. And we don't have our rake down here to see if they've done anything, but guess what? We're going to be able to move close enough to find out with our own eyes. So let's go find out. We have not. The question is going to be with a fort and these troops here. We do have 2 pieces, 2 artillery pieces. The question is, will this be enough of an advantage? Because that's a pretty good, even though it's garrison kind of line infantry that maybe isn't quite as good as normal, but they're going to be sitting on the walls firing cannon at us at the same time. So this army that's going to be a tough little battle, and I really don't want to wait for any other reinforcements to come sending down. We're just going to have to roll the dice and hope we have a strong enough force to deal some damage in Spain. So we'll find. That's another one to worry about now. Do I have enough? Do I don't know. Oh, what did we construct? We got our chapter school in Flanders to help combat the Catholic push that's going on there by that unique unit, and then Spice Warehouse. So let's just see if we've turned the tide over here as far as religious conversion. Let's find out. Oh, it's a stalemate now is what it is. It is a stalemate, and we cannot advance any further. So the only way we're going to take this guy out is by... Oh, wait. It does say chapter school. We can upgrade. So we're going to go to the final level, the College of Divinity, to try and start making inroads in Flanders. Yeah, so with two big tough battles coming up in Spain, and then with a force landing over there in the Americas, I think I'm going to hold off on making any moves against Sweden yet, in case I need these forces all of a sudden on my own for reinforcements. With that in mind, why don't we recruit and see what we have? Oh, see, look at our recruitment is so much better now that we've upgraded the barracks. And what are we dealing with within this army? Demi-cannons. Can always upgrade the cannon. Well, let's take a look. Let's get our first grenadiers recruited. How about that? We'll get a couple units of grenadiers gone. What's the difference between the grenadiers that I just recruited? Oh, I have limited amounts available on these. They have 45 accuracy, 110 range. These guys have 45 accuracy, 110 range. 10, 16, and 8. These are 12, 15. Oh, so these are the premier grenadiers that we have available for us, and we're limited to just 2 of them. We also can start messing around with dragoons at some point. But for right now, our fighting force, I'm interested in infantry. We'll pick up. We got to have a unit of Scots. We got to have some Swiss infantry. The Waldeck infantry. Let's bring them all aboard. So we have some variety on our lines now. Next time we go to battle. Ooh, and we have some hussars available, but we have recruited to the max here. We got to be careful. I think the rest I hopefully will be able to spend a little bit on the economy. Let's find out where our fleet arrived. And this is a fleet that returned from the East Indies to get repaired, so we can go back to the East Indies in good fashion. So let's get them all repaired. And there we go. It leaves us with just under 6,000 to spend. So let's take a quick look in the Americas so you can see the fleet action I was shocked by, in case you missed it turn end or I didn't keep enough time on here. But this is the stack. It's almost a full 40 unit stack. I don't know if we can see the mix of the army. Oh, we can with a lot of question marks. A lot of militia. No, there's not a lot of militia. There's a little bit of everything. Although it is militia heavy, so maybe I shouldn't freak out too much. This is a mega militia army, the biggest parts of it. Question is, he's going to be able to come right down and land. We are repairing and healing. Let's see if there's... We might as well recruit what we can to help us out, too. And we had recruited some units down here that we're going to move up. See if they can get there in time to support us a bit. I have my doubts, since they're at sea, that we'll be able to get there soon enough, but we will make the attempt. So they're gonna end up they're almost 2 to 1 in numbers. The fortunate thing in looking at that army moving in, a high percentage of militia. Although they have a fair amount of regular units, it could be that they will have enough if they are smart and go melee heavy on us, that they can just overwhelm us a bit. So we'll find out. It's something to look forward to as once they land. Or will they be drawn back to Portugal because I'm blockading over there? We're going to find out. So I figured the first thing we're going to do, we have the ability to build our new roads, and we only have the ability to do that in one place. So let's make Amsterdam the shining star. Let's make Netherlands the shining star with the best of everything and improve the roads there. I probably could have placed them someplace that would have a higher economic impact, but hey, let's take care of the home. And now we have 2,400 left to spend. Do we have any upgrades necessary over here? Not at the moment. And it's not even quite enough to upgrade a port or anything amazing. Let's just do a little home spending here. Upgrading the farms. Maybe we got a little leftover money for Flanders. Upgrading the tenanted farms. We'll just do some small spending around town here. Got to keep the population growing. And there we go. That should end the spending spree. Next turn is about to approach. I'm going to take one quick look around, make sure I'm not missing anything obvious, and then we'll get going. And there is something I missed up here in India. Our rapid deployment force. They vacated the premises, and we're going to give them something else to think about up here. Demand surrender. And let's fix the place back up so we can get a brief advantage or a brief benefit from using this. I probably, well, it's only, oh, I can't even afford the 500. So we've taken it over. A lot of things still burning from when we last practiced our scorched earth. But there you go. We got it back, and we're ready to move out as necessary when they start moving back towards us. But so far, they're dawdling around down here still. All right, I feel like we have spent our money. I have looked around to see if there's anything else I might have missed that I wanted to move or take care of. And at the moment, I think we're going to hang tight where we are. So let's get the next turn going. We'll make the determination at that point if we're going to have the time, depending on what happens for some of the big battles, either down in Spain or that landed force that's going to be heading towards Montreal. Let's go see what happens with all that. Oh, what have we got going right now? Oh, this is throwing salt on the wound. Just as we're starting to feel a little overwhelmed with the force coming against us in Montreal, the Iroquois have decided to make themselves felt, and they have a oh my goodness. So now we're gonna take some losses in the Americas. We're gonna have to move our rapid deployment force up from New Orleans to help defend us. I think on this one I will perhaps They even have Quebec as an ally. That's crazy. But I think we're gonna call our allies to help on this particular one. One thing it is nice with the Iroquois declaring war. I can move against their one lone territory. I recall my rapid deployment force down in India, and invade their weakly held territory there, and it's one I need eventually anyway too. So I believe. So we have no choice. We're at war, but I think just because I'm probably initially going to be overwhelmed a little bit in the Americas, I will risk the chance of Great Britain bailing on us. Austria may choose not to, but let's hope Great Britain stays with us. And they both stay with us. What do you know? Our alliances are strong right now. I was hopeful on Great Britain. I was a little doubtful that Austria would stick with us, but they did. And it doesn't look like they had anybody stick with them either, although we were already at war with the Mughal. So Quebec should be out of it, along with the other ally, the Cherokee Nations, I hope. And there's their move. I just vacated. And there's the force. Oh, what is this going on? Venice. Oh, because I have my northern Italy territories undefended. They decided they might decide to swoop on in and take it over. The question becomes, which of us... Oof, that's really pushing it. Austria is allied with both, so they may not be interested to keep the allies. Do I call my allies to my aid? I think this time I do not. We may lose our territories in northern Italy. We can deal with that. They aren't vital to our success anyway, and that'll give me time as they are expanding in northern Italy to build up some forces perhaps. In France to be able to move against them also. We do have an army in the Netherlands that we do not have to use against Sweden. After all, I'm glad we did not decide to make that move at this time. So we have options ahead of us. So I'm not going to call my allies. I get a little wordy here, don't I, sometimes on why I'm not going to, but I'm not going to. I don't want to risk our alliance with Austria right now. Even though I probably could have used their help because they're right on that border of northern Italy too to be able to come in and help me, but oh well. All right, some iron workshops have been sabotaged. Okay, we know about these. I was thinking where in Europe did they get sabotaged, but this is just more sabotage going on here. One thing we will do, since we did take a peek down here and it's got my mind thinking about it, let's take our army out of here and abandon the province quickly to see if we can't pay back the Iroquois. And let's get loaded aboard and take the long trip around. Oh, yeah, we wanted to retreat anyway because look at what that little surprise they have coming up the coast. Can we make it over here in one fell swoop? We're gonna find out. And how many other armies do the Mughals have? Because we are at war with them. They have no big stacks, it would appear, in the vicinity, and they could get there in one turn in anyway. So we're gonna come bring our force over this way. And we are gonna land right here. Oof. Oh, because the port, it looked like it was an unfinished port. I didn't think I could land there. So we do have the advantage of movement. Let's just do this quick strike right here at the Iroquois. Payback right away. I think they'll surrender. Pitchforks. Pitchforks. That's how weakly this thing is held. And we've just taken over unnecessary territory for us. The question will be, will we be able to hold it? Okay, let's get over the rest of the checks from the turn in. That was a little surprise quick move we had. We're going to go ahead and burn that down so we can build our own kind of building there. And move on. We have enemy fleet raiding us. Let's just go peek. Yeah, the Venice Navy. In fact, let's take a peek, if we can, at their Navy. Fair amount of fifth rates, along with some other captured, more than likely, vessels. Lesser vessels. So I'm glad we're able to start upgrading to our fourth rate with some of these extra war participants we're going to start facing now. And some wetlands were raided where? Okay, back down here. They can destroy their own territory that they're going to be taking over. I'm fine with that. Construction report, we're getting some roads upgraded. A commercial port in Flanders is upgraded. And we're even upgrading our chapter school in France. In fact, let's take a quick peek in France. I want to see as far as... not that religion is like a major part of this game, but it's also one of those details I just have fun with, playing with. And Catholicism is now shrinking, so we can get them at some point in line with the national religion. We gained some traits somewhere. A capering loon. So it helps with our enlightenment technologies, but does not help with any military technologies. So let's find out where this guy is. Gabriel Fahrenheit. Okay, is that the Fahrenheit guy? And then we have plus... Oh, he's gaining his zeal back in India with all the changes going on down there. He's regaining his faith. Great job. There he is. And what is he researching there? In Orléans. And it's farm stuff, so it's not military tech. So that's fine. We'll keep you right there. Maybe that what that might do, although he's probably advanced enough up here, the guy that is doing my enlightenment technologies, yeah, he's far superior anyway, so it wouldn't do any, it wouldn't serve any purpose to switch them up right now. So we did capture the region, we know that. Let's see, recruitments coming online, and it looks like we're going to be continuing some more recruiting coming up because we're going to have our hands full militarily. And the Barbary States, we just sued for peace, and I was right. They were weakening. They probably had hardly any territories left. It was our last-ditch effort to stay alive, is making peace everywhere, but they are no more. All right. I think what we're going to do at this point is we're going to probably end up starting next turn with some potential battles. First one, because we're kind of pushing the limits to get, because these battles are going to take some time, I do believe. We're going to take a battle against Madrid, Spain, see if we can do some harm there. We got a big battle in the Americas coming up, which is going to happen next time. I may just wait and let them attack me. I don't know if I want to do an open or come out, or should I wait and let them attack me? And they're even weakened a little bit there. But I may play the defensive role here with them coming in. How much artillery do they have? Okay, there's one advantage. We outnumber their artillery pieces, and I see no cavalry. So we do have, even though they're going to vastly outnumber us, we will have some slight advantages that maybe we can take care of. Okay, their navy is not that big, but they have more ships somewhere. Maybe they're going to be moving back to break the blockade of Portugal. They haven't done so yet. So we got some big battles coming up, and then at the same time, I'm going to take a look around in between episodes and figure out what I want to spend, although I may not after the battles be able to spend and build my military. As long as if the battles are successful, I'll have to recruit and strengthen those particular armies themselves also. So we'll see what's coming up next time, but it is going to be next time. If the battles go well, we might even be able to squeeze in both these very big, very important battles next time. So I hope you can join me to see how they turn out. I appreciate you watching. Hit a like, dislike, leave me a comment. Tell me what you think we need to be doing. Am I making the right choices in your mind or not? I'm curious to find out what you all think. This is ZigZagZog signing off from somewhere in this world. Hope to see you next time. And once again, thanks for watching.